why do we need to debate it? What we need to do is understand what our lived experience is, which this allows us to do, and then behave in a way that understands this is how things are going to function, which would allow us to empower ourselves, which will allow us to gain power, which will allow us to enforce our will, which is how it is done. This is how it's done. So we move.
Which needs to be taught.
We move. But making them teach the thing doesn't fix the problem.
TRT all right, so is a good example of us teaching.
So this power, the power I say is true power. The power to influence the minds, eyes of the masses is literally to literally mold entire nations' views, which directly leads to the power dynamics between the races and therefore the individuals in those races. Right. This is the true power. And this video by Professor Cambon describes the different levels of power. He's a G. I do like this definition of how power functions.
Again, you have these different levels of power. There's a good book, Blueprint for Black Power, that goes into this, that the lowest level is force. And oftentimes when you speak about this, they'll say, well, white people don't force you to do this. No one's forcing you to wear that. No one's forcing. And, you know, it's very, if they actually understood what they're saying, that's very appropriate, because force is the lowest level of power. That's colonialism, where they'll actually, you know, put a gun to your head, shoot you, and now they'll conscript you into World War I or World War II. I call it White War I and White War II. That's force. They're literally forcing you to go into the mines and go to the farms, you know, to enrich them. But at our next highest level is coercion. So now they don't have to use force, because as soon as you use force, now the people are going to fight back. But coercion is a threat of force. They'll put everybody, line you up. All right, now you have to go get on this boat. Otherwise, you know, your whole village will be destroyed. All right, that's now coercion. But now above that, now you have influence. So now what I'll just do is go to your ohene, or your mahene, and then tell him, all right, this is what we need you to do. Bring us 10,000 soldiers, so forth and so on. Otherwise, you'll be destooled, you'll be put on the seashells, blah, blah, whatever it is, right? So now they're using influence over somebody who now has power over other people on different levels. And then you have competent and legitimate authority. This is where now they can get someone to say, oh, well, I'm loyal to the queen, or I'm loyal to the king, because they have competent authority, they have legitimate authority, they're the head of the Anglican, you know, faith, they're this, they're that. So now once they can give you certain titles and so forth, now each higher level of power is able to engender less resistance, right? Force is the most resistance, that's why it's the lowest level. But now competent, now I think you should be the leader. Oh, we should listen to you because you're the rightful person. Oh, you have a PhD, or you have this, or you have that. That's now competent and legitimate authority. But the highest level is manipulation. And manipulation doesn't engender any resistance whatsoever, because you think that you're thinking for yourself. So the guy who's marrying a white woman, he doesn't know that the movie that he saw when he was 3 years old
is having an